Haere mai Aquarians, welcome to June 2015 Tarotscope reading. Hope you guys have got a few minutes to sit back and just hear what's going on for you for June. You'll see on the top left hand side there in the background this beautiful little crystal. Well, I guess he's not too beautiful, but what it is a Lemurian crystal, one of the older on the planet, and the way that you can define a Lemurian is through the striations down the sides of them. They look very much like a barcode, and each one of these crystals will have its own individual unique barcode, and they often have encoded ancient messages from within them. But I think the most important part is how imperfect they are, nailed up and original and unique, like all of us, and our journeys have these imperfections in them, but that's what makes us who we are. So I think it might be a month of accepting our imperfections for that, because they all go towards making us who we are. So 4 cards, guys, one for each week of the month, and then a couple of the goddess cards at the end. So let's see what's in store for you, Aquarians. The 7 of Swords, the 4 of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Ace of Swords. Wow, let me just move this a little bit. You've got yourself a very swordy reading. And no major arcana cards at this point, but you've got 2 aces as well. Really interesting, actually. Quite a unique sort of reading, not one that pops up like this very often. Let's start at the beginning. The 7 of Swords. We see here this yellow background, and the rest of your cards have a feeling of kind of slightly more greyish feeling to them. Swords, if you've been following me, often denote the thought process or the mental clarity or vocabulary, thinking. Doesn't surprise me, Aquarians are known to be the thought people of the planet. You spend a lot of time in your minds thinking and verbalizing, and that's the nature of you. So maybe this month is kind of about you and your particular energies that you give off. Maybe you're going to shine in that realm of being. We come back to the beginning, the 7 of Swords for the beginning of the month. If we look at him, he's got 5 of them in his hand, and there's 2 left behind. So this card is a really quite tricky one to interpret. There's lots of different feelings or vibrations for it. The first thing is that he's undecided, so something he's doing, he can't quite decide. He's running forward but looking backwards. So there could be a feeling as if you might be wanting to leave a situation behind, but do you? You know, you're having second thoughts about something. You're trying to figure out which is the best way forward. There's also these 2 swords have been left behind, so there's possibly you're thinking, gosh, is there a way of taking it all? Or have I left the right stuff behind and taking the right things with me? And again, this can be any area of your life. So finances, personal, relationships, career, health, anything. I think it's a card that would make us think to take the time to consider what it is that you're doing in such a hurry. Because if you're thinking that you're looking behind, you haven't quite made your mind up possibly, so are there other options? That would be something else to think about. The other feeling of the card is that there can be possibly something going on underneath things that you can't quite see. So there could be some undercurrent feelings or energies in deals or issues or people around you. So check things carefully. Make sure that if you're signing documents or purchasing new things or planning something new, that you've covered off all perspectives of it and you've checked everything really well. Now, if we come to the next card, the 4 of Swords, we see this much more calm energy. With this one, we feel the tension and the quickness and the pace to it. Here we feel the complete opposite. This is one of repose and taking the time out and going into a quieter phase and feeling as if you're seeking the peaceful energies. Sometimes it literally means going on a small break, taking a retreat, taking some time out, thinking, contemplation. Health-wise, it can often mean you need to slow down. It can sometimes insinuate a break of some sort, like a break away from someone or something, or a break like a bone. So watch your bones and things in the month of June. It can also mean forming a close, very quiet, peaceful space with another person and a really close romantic connection, so physical. And it can often be, when that happens, a physical coupling where a pregnancy may come from that coupling. So this can even indicate fertility and pregnancy for those of you out there looking for that. We come to the third week in June and we see the Ace of Pentacles. This is a beautiful card, and when we see Pentacles we often think of money or finances or career. This is often an abundance or a gift or an increase in your finances. So really nice card to get. It can be an idea that's gifted to you that could lead to better finances one way or another, or a thought process that you're thinking of, that you're looking into about increasing finances. So possibility of new jobs, new ideas, new businesses, new partnerships. Money might be handed to you one way or another. You could win a little bit of money. You might come into some family money. Nice positive card. Then we come to the Ace of Swords. Again, it's about new beginnings. Because it's a sword, we think more of intellectual or thought or verbal. So sometimes there might be new beginnings caused due to the fact that there could have been a disagreement or a moving on from something that you sort of go, nah, stick it. I'm not taking that anymore, because this hand is holding the sword up and it's sort of thrusting it up as if to say, I'm the victor, I've won. But you've won at a bit of a cost, because there's things hanging off here, there's a crown on the top with bits of stuff all hanging off as if it's happened in a hurry, and you feel as though you're the victor and you've said to them, stick it, I don't care. So it's a positive sign of new beginnings, but it does come at a cost, and sometimes there's the feeling of you've walked away from something to get the new beginning. There's definitely this last half of June, the whole thing feels newness, change, offers coming in. So yeah, I think you've got, there seems to be quite a lot going on for you in June. This is the only quiet period. The rest of this is all, as I say, mind and thoughts and words and action. So a busy month, Aquarians, and I think that's cool. Lots happening, potential newness, new partners at all levels, if you're seeking for it, of course. Now let's just go to the goddess part of the reading and see what comes up for you here. And I'll shuffle them a couple of times and then spread them out, just because that's the way we're doing it. The Angel of Pleasure. Take pleasure in the things you do. Beautiful. I mean, look at that. Who doesn't seek pleasure? We all want to just be able to experience it and enjoy it and be immersed in it. And she is being immersed in it, in the water. But a little bit like yourselves, this air and water feeling going on here. Exactly that whole Aquarian feel. So, and I said that at the beginning, it's something almost as if it's your month in June, which it's not, of course, because your birthday month is back in February and January, but there's definitely, it feels as though you've got some sort of quite upper hand that's going on astrologically. So that's really cool, and I would immerse yourself in joyfulness and pleasure. Find it in anything that you can, and really get that feel of connection to it and pleasure, and just enjoy it. It's a very nice energy, and it's there for you in the month of June. So lovely, Aquarians, very nice. Let's take one last look at these ones, and we'll see what measure they want to finish off with. I just love synchronicity. That is amazing. Wow, I said you've got a good month. You've got a good month coming up. So whatever changes are around, I think they are going to come for the positive for you. And oh, look at that. That's just so gorgeous to look at. And there's your water again. Yeah, jovial, joy, pleasure. Good on you, Aquarians. I think that is superb. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful month ahead. Just connect and enjoy it. You know, don't be too serious. Let go of the seriousness for some parts of that month and do exactly what these cards are telling you to do. Have a wonderful June, guys. Kia kaha and much aroha.